Hey there, I'm so excited because I'm going to talk to you today a little bit more about learning and how children learn. And I started off with sensory learning last week, and I promised I'd build a bit more on that today. Then I also did a post last week about motor planning, and I asked you to give me questions. So yeah, some really great questions. Thank you for that. But one of the questions that came through was, do I have to do these things with my child? Surely my child will just learn them. Surely it's innate to the child and they'll just develop these motor skills, fine motor, gross motor, any learning really. So I wanted to look at that today. And then I was listening to my friend Lara speaking. She's the founder of Nanny and Me, which is a great nanny training course. They have both online courses and live courses. And she was saying, she reminded me actually of theorist Vygotsky. A lot of teachers, if you're a teacher, you'll have heard of Vygotsky, or even the psychologists. And I don't want to get too academic or theoretical, but basically Vygotsky said we learn socially. And he spoke about this thing called the learning zone. So just if you have a little look at this picture, if you can imagine the green circle is everything that the child can do independently, and then the red circle is what the child cannot do. He spoke about this zone in between the two, and those are the things that the child can do with help, can do with scaffolding and grading and structuring. And basically this is what he was talking about when he said children learn socially. So there is a certain amount that children will learn, but by learning socially they learn so much more. And of course the obvious place we see this is peer learning, the way children learn from each other in the school context, and then also children with siblings. You know, if you've got more than one child, you'll know your second child just picks things up, things you really worked hard with your first child on, your second child just learns from their older sibling. So if you really want to maximize learning and help your child to reach their full potential, it's really about working within that learning zone. And the thing about that learning zone is it relies on the caregiver or the teacher or the parent or whoever it is that's working, the nanny, the au pair, whoever it is that is playing with the child, to really be providing the just right challenge for the child. So if something's too difficult, it will lead to failure. The child will become frustrated and they won't want to do it again. If something's too easy, it leads to boredom. I mean, we all know when something's so easy and we just mindlessly go through it, there's no satisfaction, there's no sense of achievement. And so that social learning, that learning zone that Vygotsky speaks about, is really about creating opportunities for your child so that they can extend their learning without it being too difficult for them. And if you leave a child just to learn on their own, what tends to happen is either the child will stay within the green zone and never extend themselves and may get a bit bored, or they'll extend themselves too far and they'll get into that red zone and then failure results. So I just wanted to share that. So when I post all these activities to do, it's not that your child needs this all the time, and it's not that your child won't learn without these opportunities. But if you really want to scaffold learning for your child and help them to learn to their full potential and develop their skills to their full potential, you really have to get them into that zone of learning that I spoke about there. So yeah, I hope that is useful, and I hope it gives some indication of why we encourage certain things as occupational therapists and early childhood development specialists, and helps you to get your head around what your aim is. So in play, how it's just about extending the child and creating the just right challenge. Okay.